President Lula spoke at this year's edition of the São Paulo Forum held here at this hotel in Brasília. The São Paulo Forum is a loose coalition of around 120 left-wing political parties in Latin America, and it has that name because it was founded in 1990 in the city of São Paulo. At that time, both late Cuban dictator Fidel Castro and Lula were recovering from political defeats. The Berlin Wall had fell the previous year, and Fidel Castro was in search of new political allies and new political sponsors. And Lula was defeated also in 1989 in his first presidential election to Fernando Collor. The São Paulo Forum gained more relevance in the 2000s with the so-called pink wave in Latin America, when more political left-wing leaders started winning elections across Latin America. The São Paulo Forum serves as a kind of bogeyman for the political right in Brazil, and is a source and an object of several conspiracy theories, but it is indeed a relevant organization. For example, Brazil, through the Lula and Dilma governments, used Federal Development Bank BNDES to finance projects mostly in countries that were ruled at the time by leaders that belonged to parties which belonged to the São Paulo Forum. João Santana, a powerful political marketer who was very influential in the election of Dilma Rousseff back in 2010, he was also a marketer across Latin America. And car wash investigation showed that both BNDES and João Santana were engaged in corruption practices across Latin America to support left-wing governments. The São Paulo Forum is a key to understand Brazil's foreign policy under the Lula and Dilma Rousseff administrations. People here have spoken, for example, against the so-called Monroe Doctrine and in favor of Latin America integration under, of course, left-wing governments and left-wing agendas. This helps explain why Brazil under Lula adopts a so-called neutrality posture on the Russia-Ukraine war, but mostly repeats Russian talking points, and helps to understand why Brazil under the Workers' Party administrations is so heavily aligned with Venezuela, Nicaragua, and other left-wing governments in Latin America. This is Cedê Silva reporting from Brasília for the Brazilian Report.